again, even incompetence.
But then you have the chief AD. But then you have the chief ADA who resigned on the same day Terron's life was taken, and the lead detective who resigned right after closing Terron's case.
Okay, see, I don't remember this. Tell us what's going on with that. The ADA, the assistant district attorney, resigned?
Yes. So prior to Terron's death, I sat down with the St. Lawrence County District Attorney, Gary Pasqua, requesting him to refer Garrett's case to the Attorney General to be investigated. Gary Pasqua said to me, I will run it by my chief ADA. This was in, I believe, November. No, it was October 19th, 2020. And next thing you know, I find out that on the same day Terron's life was taken, January 8th, 2021, that the chief ADA resigned on that day.
Did they give a reason for the resignation?
No, there was no reason. No reason at all.
And then you said, we don't know what they're doing for a living now, private practice? What are they doing now?
I have no idea what he's doing.
And you said one of the investigators also resigned?
Yes, the lead investigator, Detective Sergeant Thomas Caringi from St. Lawrence County Sheriff's Department, he resigned right after labeling Terron's death a suicide and closing it. Excuse me, he retired, not resigned.
Okay, he retired. So that's different from the 20s, the fellow in his 20s who also resigned.
Right. So 2 people resigned and 1 retired.
Well, if you keep at this, there'll be no police force in Potsdam whatsoever. They'll all be gone. I know. Yeah.
That's the thing, too, that I found out, is one of the possible theories of Garrett Phillips' death is prior to his death, there was discussions about dissolving the Potsdam Police Department. And there was a vote less than 2 weeks after his death to keep him. So, it's so much.
Yeah, I know. And unless you've lived through it and you've seen other cases in other cities and stuff like that, and even we just did a whole series of shows about the case in Las Vegas with the suicide of the judges and the judge's daughters being involved in that prostitution ring with Shane Valentine and all the corruption with the police. Again, cops resigning in that case, too, after the murders, which were never charged in those cases. And we just had another fellow on, too, a cop who did 20 years in prison while effecting an arrest warrant. And it turns out that the woman killed in that case was dating all the cops and all this stuff, had personal relationships.
And I heard that about Crystal.
Oh, really? There was personal relationships? What was that?
Yeah, and, first thing first, when Terron told me he met this woman in September 2020, he told me, Mom, I met this woman, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but the only thing is she has a lot of cops that be around her at her house and a judge, so it could be that he knew too much, It's so much.
Yeah, I know. And this is why, like I said, you have an open door to come back because as we talk more, things pop into your head, you remember. And I know you're overwhelmed too with all this work you're doing here. But you got to, if you follow this TikTok, you'll see some days Jen Thomas Bidwell will post 10 videos in one day, just one after another. So this is relentless. And if you want to support this right now, what you can do is you can find these TikToks, Jen Thomas Bidwell. If you just Google Justice for Terron Evans, and the fundraisers, Justice for Terron Evans, Junior Potsdam, New York, most of these are $10, $15, so if you can spare $10, $15, $20, it's much appreciated, and it does accumulate that they need support to get this kind of work done. And you can show up in person on June 3rd in front of the post office in Potsdam, New York, 6 p.m. And again, these phone calls are Letitia James, 518-474-8390. The New York Attorney General's office.
No.
Go ahead.
No. Letitia James is 1-800-771-7755.
And then what's that 518 number?
That's the New York State governor.
Oh, the governor, right? Governor, sorry.
Kathy Hochul, yep.
Oh, Kathy Hochul. See, that's right. Yeah, I was confused when you said that because I know Letitia James was prosecuting Trump. Yeah, they were that. So that's not the governor, yeah. And then the DA's office, 315-379-2225. And when you make these phone calls, they're very polite on the other end. You know, it's not like, you know, you're going to get into a big fight with somebody or they're going to argue with you. Yeah. Go ahead.
And that's another thing, too. Besides just the calls, and I don't have the actual website right now, but it's the St. Lawrence County website that they would get in touch with the district attorney on. The New York State governor website for the governor, and the New York State Attorney General website for the Attorney General. Now, the St. Lawrence County District Attorney's office has been telling people that they're only going to take complaints in writing. So to me, that's just another form of suppression of, you know, getting the truth out there and having his case investigated.
Yeah, but I tell you, if you make these phone calls, and I tell you, well, you have to put your complaint in writing, even then, they make notations of these phone calls. Trust me, they're paying attention. And a lot of times, the people who are interns that are taking, and they're activists themselves, okay, and they're looking to get into politics, and they take these internships, and they're answering the phones here at these jobs, and they're very sympathetic with what you're doing. So don't think that you're going to get into a fight with somebody. It's a confrontational kind of thing. They will take
I agree with that as far as like some of the other departments throughout New York State, but as far as the
DA's office,
St. Lawrence County District Attorney's office.
I was going to say.
Yeah, no, that lady, them people been there for years.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, we've had back in Vegas, they used to hang up on us, okay? So, you know, but, you know, but don't go looking for a fight. A lot of times you'll get a friendly ear at the other end. We've been talking to, once again, Jen Thomas Bidwell. She's the mother of Terron Evans, taken away too soon. Again, TikTok, Jen Thomas Bidwell. You can find her on Facebook, Jen Thomas Bidwell. And again, this GoFundMe, anything you could spare, which is Justice for Terron Evans Jr., Potsdam, New York, and in person at 6 p.m. June 3rd at the post office at Potsdam, New York. Jen Thomas Bidwell, like I said, you know, when you come on the show, you remember little things, so you're welcome to come back anytime and flesh this out further, and we're looking for tips and support in this case.
Yes. If anybody does have any information leading up to the cause and manner of Terron's death on January 8th, 2021, they can call 313-460-4185.
Okay, great. One more time. Can you repeat that?
313-460-4185 with any information leading to the cause and manner of death of Terron Evans Jr. on January 8th, 2021.
And Jen Thomas Bidwell, go ahead.
That's one other thing I noticed. It might be like nothing to a lot of people, but to me, it's something, each little thing I find out. So that one post that she had made on September 17th, 2021 about even if I didn't do it, I probably did. It was at 7:55 p.m. that she posted that. Terron's death was called at the Canton Potsdam Hospital at 7:55 a.m. on January 8th. So 7:55 means a lot to me. Right now I'm reading her post, and because it's the time of his death. Not only that, but her address is 236, and the redacted body cam video was redacted down to 236.
Very interesting. So Jen Thomas Bidwell, remember, any new information comes forward, anything we do to help you, get a hold of me right away. We're out of time. But once again, thank you. Thank you so much. And you really are an inspiration to me when I see these TikToks. Anybody who wants to be encouraged and see like a true warrior and a true activist fighting for her son's name, please check out Jen Thomas Bidwell on TikTok and Facebook. Jen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Take care.